There's a room at the NASCAR R&D Center in North Carolina where they don't watch the racing, they watch the data. And right now, a group of very serious American engineers are staring at one telemetry trace over and over, trying to answer a single question. Because when Shane Van Gisbergen turns up to a road course, he doesn't just beat the field, he humiliates it. 6 of the last 7 road course wins, third on the all-time list, winning by 11 seconds while everyone else is shredding tires behind him, and the whispers in the paddock aren't, "How do we beat him?" They're darker than that. Some reckon the Kiwis found a loophole. Some reckon the next-gen car was specifically built to kill his style, and it hasn't worked. So here's the real question, and I want you thinking about it the whole way through. Is NASCAR looking at changing the rules because Shane's too good, or because deep down they're scared what he's doing shouldn't be allowed at all? Let's decode it. Right. To understand why the Yanks are losing their minds, you need to understand the footwork. And this is where it gets fair dinkum technical, so stay with me. Your average Cup regular is a left foot braker. Right foot lives on the throttle. Left foot stabs the brake. It's fast, it's simple, and on an oval, it's all you'll ever need. That's how these blokes grew up. SVG does something almost nobody in the field can do anymore. Heel and toe, right foot braking. He plants the ball of his right foot on the brake and rolls the side of it across to blip the throttle, matching the engine revs to the gear on the way down while his left foot is working the clutch. 3 pedals, 2 feet at 200 Ks an hour, corner after corner. Now here's the bit the mainstream coverage skips. Why does it actually work? Shane explained it himself, and it's beautiful. Back in Supercars, you had to do this. Those cars run a locked diff, heaps of rear brake, and the rear end wants to step out under brakes, so you learn to feather the clutch on turn in, pop it out at the right moment, and it helps rotate the car into the corner. It helps the thing turn. Muscle memory from 1,000 laps around Bathurst and Sydney Motorsport Park. And here's the kicker, the next-gen car was never designed with this bloke in mind. 5-speed sequential gearbox, open diff. NASCAR figured sequential box, dead easy. Just bang it up and down, no fancy footwork required. Simplify it, level the field, except it did the opposite. That sequential box, combined with a bloke who already knows how to dance on the pedals, turned every road course into SVG's personal playground. Chicago 2023, rain hit street circuit, first NASCAR start of his life, TV camera bolted in the footwell, and he wins. They called it a fluke, a perfect storm, some fluke. Then he came back full time and got better. So no, the car didn't stop him. The car unleashed him. And that's the first loop I want you to hold on to. NASCAR built a rule book to close a door, and Shane just walked straight through the wall. Quick one, and this is for my Anzac mob specifically. I checked the numbers on this channel, and about 70% of you watching right now, the Aussies, the Kiwis, the ones who actually understand what a locked diff does, you're not subscribed. Fair go, that's a bit rough. This channel doesn't do the recycled American fluff. We do the real technical analysis, the footwork, the telemetry, the trans-Tasman story nobody else is telling properly. If that's your thing, smash subscribe and join the community. It costs you nothing, and it keeps this analysis coming. Right back into it. Now, here's where the Americans really started sweating. Because it stopped being one Kiwi, it became an invasion. Cam Waters Aussie, Ford Weapon, one of the hardest chargers in the Supercars paddock, starts turning up and running with the big dogs. Brody Kostecki, a Supercars champion, gets a cup seat and immediately shows the pace is no accident. Suddenly, you've got a pipeline of trans-Tasman talent that all learn to drive the hard way. Lock diffs, heavy cars, right foot braking is standard. And that's the question that's genuinely rattling around the American media right now. Is NASCAR scared of a Supercars takeover? Here's the insider bit, the part that tells you how deep this goes. NASCAR runs an open book telemetry system called SMT. Every driver can pull up every other driver's data so the Cup regulars can see frame by frame exactly what Shane does with his feet. They've got the homework in front of them, and they still can't copy it. Ross Chastain, Shane's own teammate, flat out admitted it, said at 33 he can do it for a corner or two. Then his brain flicks back to old habits and he's gone. Joey Logano tried right foot braking at Watkins Glen and bailed out during practice. Austin Cindric was so desperate he flew out and ran an actual Supercars wild card in Adelaide just to practice the footwork. Even Denny Hamlin, who won Mexico City 20 years ago, right foot braking, reckons no young American coming up the ranks will ever volunteer to relearn it. Think about that. They've got the data. They've got the money. And it doesn't matter because you can't buy 15 years of muscle memory. That's the advantage. And that's why the "is it illegal" question keeps coming up, because it's easier to imagine a loophole than to admit an entire nation of drivers just got outskilled by two little countries at the bottom of the map. Now, here's the content gap. The thing nobody's connecting, everyone's arguing about the technique. Almost nobody's asking the smarter question, what happens to SVG next? Because here's the truth about that illegal loop I've been dangling since the start, and I promised I'd resolve it. It was never illegal. Shane's not cheating. There's no secret part, no dodgy tune. What he's doing is 100% within the rules. It's just that the rules assumed nobody could do it. That's the whole story. NASCAR's fix failed because there was never anything to catch. So NASCAR's stuck. They can't ban footwork. What are they going to do? Outlaw the clutch pedal. And that is exactly why the 2027 silly season rumors matter so much. Follow the logic. If NASCAR ever does tweak the road course package to soften Shane's edge, the only defense is machinery, a team with the engineering muscle to keep him in front, no matter what the rule book does. And that's a very short list. A powerhouse like Hendrick or Michael Jordan's 23 XYA team that has made its entire identity out of backing outsiders and disruptors. Doesn't that sound exactly like the home for the bloke rewriting the sport? Now, this is me reading the tea leaves, not a signed contract, so take it as analysis, not gospel. But the smart money says Shane's real long game isn't just winning road courses, it's landing in the one seat where no rule change can ever touch him. And if he does that, the Trans-Tasman takeover stops being a story about one weekend. It becomes permanent. So here's where I hand it to you, and I want a proper blue in the comments over this one. There are two camps. Camp 1 says NASCAR should adapt, evolve the sport, reward the skill, let the best bloke win. Camp 2 says, nah, the rule book's fine, and the Cup regulars just need to harden up and learn how to actually drive a road course. Which is it? Should NASCAR bend to SVG, or should the field stop whinging and figure out the footwork, drop it below? And if you reckon it's more than one line, give me the why. This is the channel where the technical takes actually get read. And look, if you're backing the Kiwi invasion, if you want the world to know the best road racers on the planet came out of Supercars, do one thing, hit subscribe. Let's show the algorithm how strong the Anzac racing community really is, because the Americans are watching the data, and I reckon it's about time they watched us too. Absolute legend. I'll see you in the next one.